Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. Ooh, that was hot. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, Universal Broadcasting Network. And then every Thursday at 7 and Saturday at 1 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5. And if you're not in the Southern California 6 million covered area, then you can get me at www.kcaaradio.com for live streaming and call in for free at 832-999-1050. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no CNN, constantly negative news. There's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. The rest is for contrast. And every second week of the month, I am grateful that we get to do what I call in my Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura, where I get to help you balance your life tires and smog check your critical thinking. So that's what we're doing today. And without further ado, actually, there's a whole playlist. If you have any issues on body image, on health and well-being, on your job and career, on your relationships, please do visit my YouTube, which is now over 67,000 views in 2 years. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Sheshe. But go check those out and then listen in today. And first we have from L.A., Rebecca. Welcome. Welcome to the show, Rebecca.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And as per usual, if we could just, you're not driving, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay, then don't close your eyes. Just take a deep breath in through your nose. And releasing, soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. And then one more deep breath connecting with me through chi, eternal energy. And keeping your eyes open on a scale of 1 to 10. If I were to ask you to rate your relationships that you have in life right now, what would it be? 1 is not so good, 10 is fantastic. What number are your relationships in general at?
Probably about a 5.
Okay, 5, middle of the road, literally. And then let's go to health and well-being, same scale.
A 7?
7, great. And then finally, your job and career.
That's still growing, so I would give it about a 6.
A 6. All right. So it looks like the one that we might want to talk about is relationships, because that's our lowest number. Is that good? Or would you?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's talk about which is the one that's bringing all the rest of the numbers down? Which relationship?
It's probably my more intimate relationship, me with a significant other.
Your insignificant other?
My significant other.
Sorry, couldn't resist. So, your significant other. All right, let's talk about how we can improve that number with him or her?
Him.
Him, all right. And how long have you been significant with him?
6 months.
6 months. Okay, so it's kind of early. It's not a 6 year. All right. And so let me see how accurate this is, because this is my theory on relationships. I call it the pregnancy cycle of relationships. So in the first 3 months, things are golden, rosy, honeymoon. No one can do anything wrong. Everybody has their best foot forward and their best party dress on, and things are good. And then months 4 through 6, let's see, yes, 4 through 6 are the reality. It's the reality trimester, where the truth comes out and who people really are sort of come forward, and you're a little bit in chagrin, a little bit in shock, but then you say, I'm not perfect either. So there's a little bit of the adjustment. And then months 7 through 9 are the lease with the option to buy, or rental agreement, or let's really see if we can compromise to make this work. Are you at all following my
Yes,
pregnancy?
Most
Good.
Definitely. The 3 months was the honeymoon phase, definitely.
Good. I love my theory, especially when it applies. So the first 3 months were great. This is now the second 3 months. So
Yes.
tell me what the reality is and what your concerns are.
So my best friend actually brought it to my attention, and he said that this guy is not right for you.
Okay.
And I didn't really understand it. I mean, I gave him like some stories and things like that, but he said, you're going to realize it shortly. You just don't know it now.
Okay.
And he said, you deserve the world, and he's not really giving you that.
Okay. So define the world.
Well, basically, he doesn't bring me. So he has a best friend, which is his ex-girlfriend, and they were together for 4 years, but currently they're best friends.
Okay.
And there's been many times where I could have met her, but he made like excuses like, oh, it's not a good time, or, he kind of didn't want me to come around. And my best friend basically stated, like, if you're someone he can see himself with, it doesn't matter who that person is, he wants to bring you around them.
Okay.
And I just kept making excuses like, I get it, like, he shouldn't go out his way to introduce us. And, I mean, I'm still continuously making excuses for him.
Okay, I'm glad you see your part in that. So what are some really good things about him?
He is very ambitious. I love that about him. He pushes me to do things that I didn't think I could do.
Okay.
He also wants to see me grow. Like, I asked him what was the best thing about, being around me, and he said, like, I get to be a part of your growing process. Like, I have so much to learn, and he gets to be a part of it. And then when he does express himself emotionally about how he feels about me, it's like mind blowing. He actually mentioned, he said that the reason why I am so special to him is because I remind him of his mother, and his mother was his best friend, and she passed a couple years ago. So the things that he does say, it's just like, oh my goodness, like, it reels me back in.
Okay. And you see being likened to his mother a compliment? Sorry, I had to put that moose on the table.
It's his best friend.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. So, is he a little bit older than you?
Yes, he's 6 years older than I.
6-year-old. Okay. So, because the words that you were using sounded like what you would use for a mentor, someone who was mentoring you, someone who was, almost like a older brother figure. It did not sound romantic. All right. Just in the way that you explained it. I'm not saying that he's not.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's the teacher, he's the assessor, he's the evaluator, he's the observer, he's your teacher. So my question to you is that the kind of relationship or the role of a boyfriend that you would like to have in your life? I'm not judging it. I'm just asking with clarification if that's what you would like.
To an extent, because I do want to grow together. So I would like somebody to push me where I need to be pushed and help me learn what I need to learn. I'd like to do the same in return.
Is he allowing you to do the same in return?
I would say gradually.
That would be a no. Not right now. Sorry. So let me give it a little more background. How many relationships have you had in this lifetime?
In serious relationships,
Yes.
Probably 3.
I'm sorry, how many?
3.
3. And is this number 3 or is this number 4?
This is number 4.
This is number 4. And how young are you right now?
I'm 22.
Okay, so you're young. That's
Yeah,
good,
I'm
and
pretty
that's
young.
good. You're pretty young, and it sounds like from the other numbers, you're pretty happy with your health and well-being. You sound like a very positive person. You sound like a very self-aware person. I'm sure you're beautiful inside and out. I can't see you, but just from listening to you, and your energy is great. And I think that you're an attractive person, and I think that you want to expand and grow.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, so my question would be, ex-girlfriend aside, are you happy with him 80% of the time? So on a day-to-day basis, 80% of the time, right now in the 4 to 6 month period, are you happy with him 80% of the time? Or is the ex-girlfriend or his mentorly, almost fatherly role in your life, is that less than 80%? Do you wish it were different? If nothing changed.
It would be it would be less than 80%.
Okay. So so then for the remainder of this trimester, I would put the moose on the table and address those things that are less than 80% to see if there is room for compromise on his end. So he's asking you to be okay with not meeting his ex-girlfriend or not being able to give him the same kind of feedback for growth to grow together. And that's what he's saying he would like from you. Maybe not directly, but based on your answers, you're not getting those things that you want. So now you get to equally say, this is what I would like. So without putting words in your mouth, if I were you, I would say, putting words in your mouth, I would say, I just want to make sure before I invest any more time in this relationship that you don't still have strong feelings for your ex-girlfriend that would come back and affect how you feel about me. And just see what he says. And if he says, no, I don't, we're just really good friends. And then you can say, well, I just find it a little odd that we've had opportunities for me to meet her and I haven't met her. So I'm going off of what's happening. And you don't need to bring your friend into this. And my friend says I deserve better and all that. You're just presenting what you would like. Okay. Now, what is interesting is your best friend is pointing out some things that you're doing that it does sound like this relationship is a little uneven. It sounds like you're doing most of the adjusting and he's not. Now, you're 22, and the good news is you have time and you're not in the position of, oh my God, if this doesn't work, I'm never going to have kids and I'm never going to have a life. You're shopping right now. So I want to put a little frame for I wish I had when I was 22. And the frame is this, and I get it from one of my beautiful teachers, Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of The Four Agreements. And if you can pick it up, The Mastery of Love. So in his theory, we are in a marketplace. When you're single, you're in a marketplace and you are laid out on the counter for people to look at, and there are other men for you that are on the counter, and you're just shopping, you're looking, and you're trying, and you're picking it up, and you're looking at it. Now, when people don't act or do or are what you want them to be, it doesn't make them a bad product. And you're not a bad product if there's no fit. It just means that there's no fit and you put it back on the counter and you keep shopping. And you're 22, you're at the best age to do that. That's this for this next 10 years for you is a wonderful shopping trip. You like shopping, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you can ease up yourself on what you are hoping, dreaming, and women do this. You know, we're like naming grandchildren. We read into everything. You know, we MSU University all the time, which is make shiitake up. You know, we're making assumptions all the time. So we're making something out of nothing a lot of the time. So if you can sort of ground yourself in this relationship to say, am I happy right now with what is going on? Okay. And if not, what can I say to move it towards what I want? And if it doesn't move towards what you want, let's say he does say, I just don't want you to meet her because she's in my life, she's my best friend. You can go, okay, it has nothing to do with does he love you enough or you're good enough for him, but you told me that I'm like your mother and that's a good thing, and all of that stuff that we bring into our own countenance and then our face falls and we get disappointed or we take it personally. All of that is unnecessary. Right now, all you're doing in the 4 to 6 months is saying, okay, this works for me and this doesn't work for me. Doesn't make him bad, doesn't make you bad. This works for me, this doesn't work for me. And use it as an opportunity for you to grow, to ask for what you want. Because it sounds like, you know, that's one of your goals, which is beautiful. At 22, to want to grow and expand, that's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, complete.
Is there any fear in asking for yourself?
That's what I was thinking the entire time.
This is why I love doing call-in shows. This is why we breathe in at the beginnings to connect us, and so I can tune in. All right. So let's look at where this fear is coming from. My guess is that somewhere growing up, you were led to believe that what you wanted didn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry, and that's I'm sorry that happened to you as a child. No child deserves to have that kind of a message given to them. However, that was then, and you're not a child now. So I'm going to do just a breath reset. We're going to delete those browser cookies on you. I want you to take a breath, and you're going to release all of that from the past. Because I'm here to tell you right now that you have every right to want what you want because you are worthy, you're good enough, and you deserve it. That is the contract we signed when we came down as human beings. We're supposed to be happy most of the time. But it's a choice. It's a choice. So if you're holding that BS that bullshitaki, that belief system from the past, and extrapolating into your present and future to say, well, it's okay for him to say this is what I want, but it's not okay for me to say this is what I want. That's over as of this moment. Because you are the boss of you in the kindest way. Now, I'm not saying that, we go to the extreme and we do whatever we want that feels good and we can hurt other people. I'm not hearing that from you. I am saying that, Rebecca, you are the bomb in only the way that Rebecca can be. All 7.3 billion of us are the bomb. And each one of us has a beauty that is unique to us. And there are so many men out there who will see you, not as their mother, but as a precious child of the universe as you are. But the key is you're not going to attract someone who sees you that way if you cannot see yourself that way. Take a breath. That's you. So the work here is not around the ex-girlfriend. The work here is around you. When you feel deserved enough and act upon that deservedness and ask for what you want, then you will attract that which treats you the way you treat yourself. Because I have a feeling that right now there's a critic inside your head that constantly criticizes yourself and that tells you how you're not doing well enough and tells you how you need to do better. And you've attracted someone to embody that voice.
Mm.
There's silence.
I'm just trying to consume it all.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that he isn't wonderful either. I think that he is perfect for where you are right now, and he's a great reflection of where you are right now. And there may be more that you need to learn in a relationship with him. It does sound like that just for a little bit. But let's remember, it's not about the ex-girlfriend. This is about you.
Yeah.
Okay? You are loving, lovable, and loved. Do you believe me?
Yeah.
And tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. So if you're feeling emotional right now, that's a good thing. I always like it when people cry. It makes me feel like I've touched their heart. Or I've been used to do so. Good.
You definitely touched mine.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Absolutely. You keep in touch. Let me know how it goes.
I will do.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, Rebecca, it is my absolute pleasure. You take care, all right? I want you to, I have some homework for you. Every morning that you wake up, I want you to look in the mirror and say, you are loving, lovable, and loved. And just try that in the mornings. Because there's really, honestly, in feeling your energy, you're so focused on what I can do better and what I need to do different and what I need, where I'm not good enough and da-da-da-da-da-da. I want you to stop that. Just ease up on yourself. There's nobody harder on you than you. Correct?
Yeah.
Stop it. Go easy on yourself. Can you do that?
Oh, I'm definitely going to try.
Okay. So the other homework is I just had a brilliant interview last month with Lisa Nichols. She was one of the teachers on The Secret. I don't know if you've heard her.
Yes, The Secret.
Yeah, she's the bomb. She calls me the bomb, but she's the bomb. I want you to go to YouTube and put in Dr. Marissa and Lisa Nichols, and I want you to listen to that because she has some affirmations that when she was on welfare and didn't have money enough to buy diapers for her child, she went through a process of self-love as well. So I want you to take those things that she wrote on Post-its and put around her house, and I want you to do the same thing because that's what this is about. I want you to get this so that your relationships are going to affirm the beauty and the goodness that you are. I don't want too much more breaking down of you. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My blessing, Rebecca. I do so love these episodes. And that was Rebecca. If you've just tuned in, it is that time of the month. It's Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura, and we do call-ins. And thanks to my very kind producer, Jarvis Essex, who schedules so that you don't have to wait on hold. If you would like to be part of next month's call-ins, please do contact him atjessex, ESSEX 13 at AOL.com, and he'll put you on the list and schedule you, and you can get free advice that I don't use because the show's called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. That's actually not true. I actually do what I do because I need to hear it first. So that was Rebecca. And if you missed her, you can also get me on YouTube. If this is Thursday, you can hear me Thursday nights at 7, Saturdays at 1 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5. And now I am on iHeartRadio everywhere. So there's some balance. Next, we are going to take a little break to thank the sponsors who make this show possible. So I'll be back in 2 and 2. Peace in and peace out.
What's the most powerful word on the planet? Yes. If you want to be inspired by award-winning authors and teachers who write about the many facets of yes and how it transforms life and one's love of life, then pick up the Yes book today. Jill Cooper and Exalt Road Publication brings you stories of transformation, confession, research, poems, and manifestos that witness the power of yes. Available at Amazon and exaltroad.com. The Yes Book, a perfect affirmative gift for the holidays. Say yes, I want to celebrate my life.
Tired of political rhetoric, angry ranting, and CNN constantly negative news? Then tune in for Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words. No Kardashian talk. Exclusively on UBN Radio every Tuesday at noon Pacific Standard Time on www.ubnradio.com or on the free app for a show about hope and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Peace in and peace out. And we are back, and you are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at Naturally High Noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California on Universal Broadcasting Network, and then every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 1 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5, and now also everywhere on iHeartRadio. And if you'd like to be a sponsor for this show about hope and happiness, then please do contact me, you can go to my website at forbalance.org and ask for a marketing deck or a sponsors deck. I am running a special this year since it is my 5th year on the air, and for a mere $350, I can make you a 30-second commercial, which is usually about $1,500, and play it all over on all of my channels, and you can promote yourself, your new book, your new product and service, and I do have nonprofit rates as well. So please do align yourself with a show about hope and happiness, because we do need to balance out all of that constantly negative news. And this is call-in week, and we do have our second caller on the line ready to go. And welcome to Chris from Houston. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
I am happy and grateful. Thank you. Are you driving right now?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm parked at a truck stop in
All right.
nowhere, Texas.
All right. Well, welcome from Texas. And if you would put your feet flat on the ground, your palms in your lap, turned up, and gently close your eyes since you're not driving, taking a deep breath in through your nose. Mm-hmm. And release all the stories and the drama. And one more deep breath in, connecting with me through chi eternal energy. And release. And gently open your eyes. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Chris, in the area of your job and career, how would you rate where you are now? 1 being not so great, 10 being fabulous. What number would you give it?
I'm gonna say I would say about a 5.
About a 5, okay. And then how about in the area of health and well-being? Where?
I'm gonna go. They kind of tied in together, so I'm gonna go with a 5.
5 as well. All right. And the last category is relationships. Where would you say you are on the scale of 1 to 10?
I'm gonna say about a 9.
All right. So your relationships are great. So I want you to remember, when you're thinking about how low the other numbers are, that you have a great number on relationships. And that's not usual. A lot of people call in and that's their lowest number. So I want you to focus on the fact that it's at a 9. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, but we are here to try to raise the other numbers. What gives you the most concern? Give me what it is that's bringing down the numbers. What's tied in together?
Well, as I said, they're both basically connected.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, a few years ago, I had driving my 18-wheeler. I had a horrible accident, and everything was fine. If I had talked to you then, all of my numbers might have been a 10, but everything was fine. After the accident, I was laid up for about 8 months, and another trucking company would not touch me.
Right.
So I took a few little jobs, here and there, obviously to make money, but it wasn't covering my expenses and how I was used to, living. And so I ended up having to move back in with my mother. Mm-hmm. And then I got diagnosed with a disease known as colitis. I don't know if you know what that is.
In the bowels.
Okay. Right. Bleeding, ulcers, and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, ironically, though, it took a couple of years, but I did find a company that I really like, another 18-wheeler company that I'm driving with now. And it's an extremely small company. They stay in Texas. I'm home on the weekends. I come back, I live in Houston. I come through Houston 2-3 times a week, and they know all about my sickness. And last year I was like 10 seconds away from death's door, and I was out for 2 months. A few months ago, I was out for a couple of weeks, but the company understands this.
That's right.
And so I like the company. I like the people. They understand my sickness. And I've actually been in remission now. I take shots once a month, and I've been in remission for 4 months. But the problem comes in where I said, it ties in the health, ties in with the job, is the money aspect of it. because I have two children. One just went off to college a couple months ago, and trying to support them. Also, I'm just not making the money, and so I have the resume now where I can. Now I've been back driving over the road, no accidents or nothing. I can go wherever I want to and make the money. But the problem comes in is, like I said, this company understands my illness. They allow me, if I have a flare-up or whatnot, and if I do get sick, I am, like last time when I did get sick last summer, I was in Waco. I made it back to Houston. And, yeah, so if I go to another company, I'm going to make the money, but I don't want to get sick in Iowa or Kansas. And when the sickness, when it goes quick, and and it's very bad. And so my dilemma is, I've been in remission now with these new shots for 4 months. But I'm like, I can go and make the money and go over the road. But if I get sick somewhere in the middle of nowhere, what happens? Or I can stay with this company, and I'm not making the money. And so for now, the money I'm making, I would still stay at my mother's house. So I'm like, do I go over the road, or do I stay with this company? That is, like my mother did say, you know what, Chris? The other companies, if you were out for 2 months and 1 month and 2 weeks like you've been, you would be fired. So it's my deal. Like, I like the company, but I'm not making the money, so I'm still at my mother's. Or do I go back over the road and take the chance of getting sick somewhere in Maine or something?
Right. All right. That's a very good, clear. You have a great understanding of what is in front of you. You sound like a wonderful, hardworking, well-intending, respectful man. So that's the good news. All right. And honestly, there is no bad news here. So this is one of those things where one of my teachers, Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks, says when there's 9 good things that are happening and 1 bad thing, you focus on the 9 good things and you don't give the 1 bad thing a lot of attention. And if there's 9 bad things and 1 good thing, you don't give the 9 bad things attention, you just give the 1 thing attention. All right? So in your situation, isn't it wonderful? And I want you to wake up every morning, because the answer's going to come. The answer's going to come, because I'm not going to tell you one way or the other, because I believe that there's a third option that's going to reveal itself when you begin the process of healing yourself. Okay, now I'm not doing mumbo jumbo here, but you have laid out, it's either this or this. Right?
Correct.
Either I stay at the job, I'm not making enough money, I have to stay with my mom, I'm not going to be able to help my kids with their college, and I'm stuck. Okay? Or I'm going to try, I can make more money, be at another company, but then they may not be understanding and I may be fired as soon as I go over there, right? Those are the 2 things that you've laid out as either this, 50% this, or 50% this, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm holding a third option. And do you want to hear it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So here's the third option. Starting tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to start your day by saying, I'm so grateful that I've been in remission for 4 months. I'm grateful that there's a drug that's helping my condition. I'm grateful that I've had this wonderful, understanding, fabulous company that has paid me when no one else would pay me, which is kind of a miracle after a bad, horrible accident. And I still want to drive, and I love driving, and I'm good at it, and they recognize it, and they've been super understanding. That's 3. Number 4, I'm super glad that I get along with my mom, and she's not kicked me out, and she's not forced me to leave. And I'm so grateful that I have children that are actually wanting to go to college and are in college and doing well. And I'm number 6, I'm a good dad, and I'm trying to support them the best that I can. And number 7, I'm still alive, even though I've been in several situations where I could have lost my life. That's 7. And 8 is I got to talk to Dr. Marissa on the air. I'm just making
Oh,
that.
wow.
I'm
Okay.
just talking. I had to come.
I was going to slide that in there, too.
God
Give
bless
credit
you.
where credit's due.
God bless you, my child. So because I have this is homework for everybody, which is 8 gratitudes every morning when you wake up. And I was struggling. I got to 7 and I went, oh, where's my 8? So humbly said, those are 8 things that you wake up every single morning from tomorrow morning on. And what's going to start to happen is your focus on, and then you say a little prayer to the friendly universe. All right. I call my God, I call him my UPS man, my universal power source. And you just say with a breath, you don't have to be religious. You can just say, okay, UPS man, I want you to deliver me the best possible option that is for my best and divine good, whatever that is. And I will be grateful. And you just watch what's going to happen. So the other thing I want you to do is just start playing on Google. Google's one of my favorite tools. And you just, put down, what do you like to do? Travel, truck driving, travel, new solutions in colitis, support group for colitis, relationships for people who are not at perfect health. You name it, you put it down in the as keywords, and you just have fun with it. You just have fun with it. 30 minutes a day, not a big deal. You talk to your kids, and when they say, Dad, I need this money, and you say, darling, I'm doing the best that I can, and we'll see what's going to happen with all this, but right now this is all I can do, and I love you, and I know they're not going to, they can't be raised by you and be spoiled brats. I just, and if they are, they're going to grow out of it. But you're doing the best that you can with what you have and the time that you have, and that's enough. And and here's the thing: I'm guessing. I'll bet $10 to Jarvis right now that when you begin, that you're giving the drug some credit. I'm going to give you some credit that the reason why you're in remission is you're starting to really force yourself to stay in the light, because that's your work, is just stay in the light. The fact that you had a horrific accident and people wouldn't hire you, and that you're not bitter and angry and resentful and violent, is your work. And you've stayed positive, and you work hard, and you want to be self-sufficient, and you're respectful. That's your work, and you've done it. And that's one of the reasons why you're in remission. That's one of the reasons, because colitis, as far as I know, part of it is physical, part of it is emotional. Actually, it doesn't even matter. It's not just colitis. It's every disease in our system is partially generated by our emotions. And I know that for a fact. It used to be, research shows it's possible. It's not a possibility. It is proven now. Scripps, Harvard, everywhere I know is publishing the impact of emotions on your health. You will be in remission for the rest of your life if you can just cut yourself a little more slack.
Yes, ma'am, that is so true, and I learned that, like I say, almost some months ago. And I was in remission for maybe 6 weeks, and I had a situation. A car broke down, and I was trying. It just turned really stressful, and just within that minute, those few minutes, the bleeding started and everything, and I knew right then. You know what? A whole huge part of this is is to the stress.
Yes. So your work is cut out, darling. So Dr. Deepak Chopra says there's 2 emotions that make our body cells dysfunctional: anger, hostility. So your job is to stay out of that loop, no matter what it takes. It doesn't matter. So what, the car broke down? 9 times out of 10 it's working. Let's focus on the 10. Everybody's car's broke down. It's not that big. Here's your tool. INTBOD. It stands for it's not that big of a deal. So you're going to walk around going, INTBOD, INTBOD, INTBOD. Okay. Now, I also want you to have a vent partner, because when bad things happen, you have to release the negative energy. So have a vent partner that you call up, and you have them time you for 2 minutes, and you just get to vent for 2 minutes, and then you let it go. You cannot come back to that same topic. And their only job is to say, I'm so sorry, that sucks, and then you're done. Right? Because when you say something to someone and they just say, my daughter, I'll vent with my daughter, and she'll go, oh, Mom, I'm sorry that happened. I'm cool after that. As long as somebody says that, I'm cool. So that's your work.
I would say that would be my biggest hurdle. Not everything you told me. My biggest hurdle would be me trying to cut down my story to 2 minutes, because I talk a lot. But I have a vent partner, a guy. He lives in Birmingham, Alabama. He listens, and he listens real good to me.
Good. So, have him time you, because I'm telling you that the longer you stay, actually, Abraham says it's 16 seconds. That when you are complaining for longer than 16 seconds, then more negative energy comes towards you. It is attracting you. So you have a good reason not to be angry for longer than 16 seconds. Here's your other homework. You're going to go and spend $1 on my app called the 21-Day Fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa. It's on Google Play and Apple Store. And every day there's a tip on how not to complain. And then there's a little happy face that comes up when you don't complain, and an angry baby crying when you do complain. Okay? So use that every day for 21 days every month, and you'll have a new habit where you're not going to have to complain for very long. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. That dollar app, that is a third of my weekly salary, but whatever. I'm just playing with you.
Yeah, I got that. And I'll give you $1 if it's that much.
No.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Chris. We are almost out of time. I want you to say on the air, because I want you when you re-listen to this, who would you like to thank for being supportive of you in your relationships, your 9 in your relationships, that you do say thank you. I know that you do, but I want you to say it publicly here, because this is being heard by over 200,000 people. All right. So, Chris, who are you thanking for where you are now and who you are now?
My mother.
What's her name?
Both sides of my family. Janice DeHaniesto.
Aw. And the DeHaniesto family, and my father's side of the family, the Bluets. So both sides of my family, and I got a couple of really good friends that listen to me. Yapping. So but most definitely, like I say, my mother for allowing me to stay there, and my family who is supportive, and I know that's very important. I know a woman who I talked to last night, and she's going through with a 10-year-old son who she lost her job and lost everything, and she's about to go and stay into a shelter. And I'm trying my best. And her son is like, I don't want to go to a shelter, and that shine light on things that we can take for granted because your family is always there, but that shine light on some people don't have that support system. Yes, absolutely.
So that last night conversation spilled over into the day where I will thank my mother and my family.
That's beautiful.
And you for giving me advice also.
Absolutely. Bless you, Chris. Stay in touch. Well, I'm gonna hear about how you're gonna have the longest remission ever, and in time. And with this practice and your discipline of managing your INTBOD, it's not even going to be a disease for you. I see it. All right?
Well, thank you very much. And I will say before I go, you do have you probably heard it a billion times before, but you seem to have a little, nighttime Delilah thing going on with your voice. Yeah, you almost make me want to request a Michael Bolton song.
Oh, you're so sweet. I actually do sing. I'm a retired lounge lizard, and I came out of retirement to sing with the Agape International Choir. We just got back from Peru from performing there. But I do have a couple songs on iTunes, so you can spend $2 more.
Wow. Well,
getting those.
Well,
That's
so
$3 I got
you
out
really
of
want
them.
me to stay living with my mother, basically.
There goes your entire salary. What can I say? I spent the other 2/3.
Okay, man.
All right.
Thank you for your help and your advice.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Oh, my. I love my job. All right, and it is at the end of the hour, and it's called the Balance Bar. Welcome to it. Balance Tip Day 15 on round 64 of the 21-day fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa. Have a guy day. Much complaining stems from our critic in our heads that incessantly chants woulda, coulda, shoulda, especially loud in many women who think they are less attractive, less smart, and more heavy than they actually are. Men, on the other hand, seem to think they're better looking, more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. So today, have a guy day and don't complain. And that's from my 52 card Pick Me Up, Stacking the Deck for Life Balance with Dr. Marissa. If you'd like to join the fast, sign my guest book at drmarissa.tv and make my day and like my Facebook page as well as the 52 card Pick Me Up page on Facebook. Next week, it is my Thanksgiving show, and my guest will be a great full of surprises. So keep yourself tuned to take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balance with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Learned to cry at an early age. People around me, my heart in a cage.